I went to prison for 15 years for killing someone. Everyone said I was evil, but one person never left me. I've always been quick to anger and got jealous easy, but I'd never been in trouble with the law before that night. It was 15 years back when my girlfriend took me out for my birthday, and we were walking home around midnight when we passed some guys wearing suits. They were obviously wasted. She grabbed my hand, and we tried to walk past them, but one of the guys stood in front of her and grabbed her other hand and kissed it. She pulled away and stepped back into the second guy who had come up behind us. I heard her scream as she turned around and slapped the guy in the face. My blood boiled as the first guy reached for her hair and twirled it. I told him to get his greasy fingers off of her or he'd never be able to button up his suit again. I remember specifically he grabbed a fistful of her hair and yanked her towards him. Well, I punched the guy in the jaw immediately, but he took my fiancée down with him as he fell. She hit her head, and I swear I saw blood. Next thing I knew, I was hitting the guy repeatedly, but then his buddy stepped in. But he didn't go to help his friend. Instead, he got down on the floor and started reaching under the skirt of my bleeding and basically unconscious fiancée. As soon as I saw this, I went berserk. I don't remember much, and I'm guessing a passerby must have called the police, because by the time they arrived, both guys' heads were basically minced meat on the sidewalk. It wasn't until I was in handcuffs that I fully realized what I did. I started panicking and asked if my fiancée was okay, but the cop just shoved me into the squad car. Fast forward a couple of weeks, my fiancée and I had to cancel our wedding to cover her hospital bills and my lawyer fees. At first, I genuinely thought I might walk free. You see, it was public knowledge that our judge had a young daughter who was a victim, and as soon as trial started, it was clear he was sympathetic towards our case. However, the father of the men I killed was extremely rich and influential in our city's politics, and so he could afford the best prosecution team that completely twisted the story. They painted me as this monster of a man who went too far when the guys were just boys being boys and flirting a little. And because there was no camera footage or any eyewitnesses besides my fiancée, who the prosecution team claimed lied about the assault in the first place, saying she purposely injured her head and went to the hospital to make this claim in court, the jury found me guilty of voluntary manslaughter. I got 30 years with the possibility of parole in 15. I'll never forget that feeling when the gavel came down and the sentence was given. Everyone, even my own parents, looked at me like I was a monster. Everyone except my fiancée. She saw me as her hero. She told me through tears that we may not have said our vows yet, but one day we will. We then pinky promised each other, right before the officers ripped me away. Fast forward my first week inside. She came to visit, but I was so distraught about everything I actually told her to just move on with her life, instead of waiting for me for 15 years. But I'll never forget what she said back. I will wait a lifetime for you if I have to. Those words kept me going for the next decade and a half. I kept my head down, my nose clean, and when I finally got the opportunity, I worked tirelessly for 25 cents an hour to earn as much money as possible while in prison. I did this so, when I got out, I could give my dream girl her dream wedding. On my 15th year, I got parole and time off for good behavior. I'll never forget the day I walked free. I walked outside the prison gate at noon, where I saw my fiancée in the most beautiful outfit I had ever seen. She ran to me and jumped in my arms, telling me she's been standing here for the past 9 hours because she's been too excited to sleep. She was full on sobbing, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I started sobbing too. When wedding time came, we called everyone from our past lives and invited them. Unfortunately, most didn't accept, but we didn't really care. And even though it was literally just us two with some random dude we didn't know on the beach officiating it, our wedding was a dream come true. There was cake, there was a beautiful sunset, and there was her in her beautiful white dress, smiling so bright I couldn't stop crying as she walked down the aisle.